The Select Subcommittee on the Coronavirus Pandemic will come to order. I want to welcome everyone this morning. And without objection, the Chair may declare a recess at any time. I ask for unanimous consent for Mr. Moskowitz from Florida and a member of the full committee to participate in today's hearing. I now recognize myself for the purpose of making an opening statement. The COVID-19 pandemic lasted over 1,000 days, took millions of lives, and extracted a crushing physical, emotional, social, and economic toll on our country. There will be other pandemics or significant public health emergencies that test our nation's preparedness and resiliency in the future. We can expect it. And we can't turn a blind eye to this fact. We can't pretend that this is a one-off or even once-in-a-century catastrophic event. Executive departments and agencies should be well on their way to collecting and analyzing lessons learned and implementing corresponding changes to our nation's plans and priorities. Based on lessons learned, including recommendations that this select subcommittee will make later this year, Congress must ensure that departments and agencies have the necessary authorities and resources to prepare for and respond to the next pandemic. In an effort to do better, Congress passed the Prepare for and Respond to Existing Viruses, Emerging New Threats Pandemic Act, more commonly referred to as the Prevent Pandemics Act. Included in the Prevent Act was the requirement for the White House to establish the Office of Pandemic Preparedness and Response Policy as a permanent component of the Executive Office of the President. With the creation of this office, the White House now has a permanent element dedicated to pandemic preparedness and response, fully focused on doing better in the future. And we are here to ensure that this new office helps us achieve that, not just add other layers of bureaucracy, but to actually achieve that goal. OPPR is charged with leading, coordinating, and implementing actions related to preparedness for, response to, known and unknown biological threats or pathogens that could lead to a pandemic or to significant public health-related disruptions in the United States. As I've said many times, the goals of this subcommittee is to create a path forward for us to possibly predict the next pandemic, prepare for it, protect ourselves, and maybe even prevent it. Appearing before us today is Major General, retired Paul Friedrichs. General Friedrichs is the inaugural director of the White House Office of Pandemic Preparedness and Response Policy, which was officially stood up in August of 2023. Today, I hope we can have serious and productive conversation about how the whole of government can do better and how we can do better next time. And while doing better must involve plans to prevent or mitigate the loss of life and devastating emotional, social, and economic consequences, we also need to address another casualty of the pandemic. The casualty is Americans' trust in public health and their government's ability to respond to a crisis of this magnitude. It's a tall challenge, no doubt, but doing better must involve restoring public trust and confidence. Integrity, experience, credibility, these are the attributes that Americans must see in public health institutions and officials. If we can't restore the public trust, the most comprehensive, sound preparedness and response plan may end up being in vain. So we want to work towards that goal. I hope this hearing will provide us with an opportunity to discuss what lessons were learned during the pandemic and how we can do better. These lessons are critical in preparing for future pandemics. We need to plan and prepare for potential pandemic pathogens and emerging biological threats with the same level of urgency and effort that we plan and prepare for the actions of potential adversaries. Americans are counting on us to do just that. So I look forward to a robust and on-topic discussion this morning. Thank you, and I would now like to recognize Ranking Member Dr. Ruiz for the purpose of making an opening statement.